The ballroom was full of luxury, crowded with important figures from the underworld, fancy dresses and sharp suits, with glasses clinking. The air was nothing but cold and dangerous. In the center stood Jungkook, the ruler of the shadowy world, with his wife, Wyan, up his arm. Jungkook's hand rested possessively on the small of Wyan's back, his eyes, cold and calculating, softened only when they landed on her. He leaned in close, his breath warm against her ear. Jungkook, you look stunning tonight, my queen, he murmured, his voice low and intimate. Wyan, you have to control tonight, Jungkook. Jungkook, sorry, love, can't promise that. I see a wrong eye on you, I take it out. She shook her head. Jungkook offered her champagne and took one himself. Jungkook, I would have rather spill it on you than push you on the shower. Wine put a finger on his lips, flush creeping up her cheeks. He was too bold sometimes, or maybe all the time. Jungkook's words, however, were not just flattery. They were the truth. She was dressed in a midnight blue gown that clung to her figure, diamonds glittering at her neck and ears. She knew she looked every bit the part of his queen. Jungkook, a man called, drawing his attention. Jungkook turned, his expression hardening as he recognized the voice. It was one of his allies. Excuse me for a moment, darling. I'll be back soon. Jungkook said, pressing a kiss to Wine's forehead. She nodded with a gentle smile. He gave her one last lingering look before stepping away. She could feel his aura shifting instantly to cold and dangerous as he moved away from her. It was as if she was the only reason of warmth in his life. As she waited, a man approached her. He was unfamiliar, a smirk playing on his lips. As he reached out to touch her arm, the moment his fingers brushed against her skin, one felt a chill run down her spine. This was not a gesture of politeness at all. One looked at him and gracefully created a distance between them, but he was persistent. He smiled and stepped forward, sliding his fingers against her arm. Jungkook, take your hand off my wife. One moment he was talking to someone, the next moment he was there. Even if he wasn't looking, his whole attention was on her. Mark, what's the matter, Jungkook? Afraid she'll find a real man? The crowd held its breath. The next few seconds was a blur. Jungkook moved with the lethal grace of a predator, his fist connecting with the man's face with a loud thud. Blood sprayed, and Mark fell on the ground. But Jungkook wasn't finished. He got down beside the man and grabbed his collar. Jungkook, you dare touch what's mine. Wine watched a shiver of thrill running down her spine. This was the man she married. A monster to his enemies, a protector to her. Jungkook slammed Mark's head against the floor once, getting more blood to flow out of his system. Jungkook, remember this. Touch her again, and you won't live to regret it. He released the man with a shove, standing and adjusting his cuffs as if nothing had happened. He couldn't do much violence in front of his wife and disturb her sleep. The crowd remained silent. Jungkook was not to be crossed. He walked back to Wyan, his expression softening only at the sight of her as he extended a hand to her. Jungkook, let's go home. She took his hand and left the ballroom with him. People moved, giving them the way. She knew she was safe with him. She knew, as long as he was there, no horror could ever come her way, even at the verge of world's extinction. It was not how it ended, however. Jungkook took Wine home and put her to sleep. He made sure no nightmares came her way as he engulfed her body and provided her his warmth. He slipped out of sheets later at night and executed the man right in front of everyone. An example needed to be set. It might be a small touch, but Jungkook clearly hated it, and he was not allowing anyone else to ever act bold again. Once he was back home, he slipped into sheets beside his wife and received a pinch on his arm and an angry sleep scowl. Jungkook, sorry babe, can't help it. Won't leave your side now. Wine, Lord, what do I do with this man? She huffed and turned to the other side. Jungkook back hugged her and nuzzled his face in the crook of her neck, his arms tightly wrapped around her. Jungkook, shower him with your love, maybe. She chuckled and was quick to sleep again in his protective arms under his love filled touches and cares of a lover.